Ah, greetings, peoples, folks, and space aliens. I'm coming at you with a little different video today. I talk about energy drinks. Oh no, not energy drinks. They're bad. Well, hold on a second. What are you using for energy? Is it as good or better or worse? It might be worse than I'm going to show you. I'm not trying to sell anything here. I'm not trying to say they're bad or good. I'm just trying to give you some information. Coming at you from 10 years using the same energy drink and what my thoughts are and what I look at. Some of the stuff I'm going to show you is not the regular stuff I use, but it's been kind of backups for me, so on and so forth. So with that said, what do I look for? Sugar-free energy drinks are the ones that I like to look for. Oh no, sugar-free is nasty. Will you just stop? Seriously. Flavor is the key, for sure. And if you haven't tried some of the new stuff that's out there, I would recommend you try some of it, see what you think, listen to this video, take what you need to get from it, and go from there. So, I'm also going to talk about some recent info and side effects I've had. But first, let's start with history of energy drinks. Well, they're new. They are a scam and they're new. No, actually not. Starting in the 1940s, energy drinks started to pop up and formed into what they are now. Here's a bottle from the 1940s. B1 Lemon Lime Soda. What's B1? Vitamin B1 supplying 1/3 daily minimum requirement for an adult. This was put out by Charles Bernick in St. Cloud, Minnesota. Copyright 1940 by B1 Beverages Incorporated, St. Louis, Missouri. Fast forward maybe 15 or 20 years for a change. Oh, change! Milk and honey drink. Combines low-fat milk with honey for a quick energy and vitality. Put out by the Lakeville Creameries in Lakeville, Minnesota. Copyright 1965. So the idea of an energy drink has been around for a while, and it's not something new. However, some of the stuff that's been coming out lately is actually a lot better than the stuff that came out long, long ago in a glass bottle far, far away. Well, now that you had a little bit of a history and you know that they have been around for a while, let's talk about what I like to look for and what has been a proven thing for me over the last many years to a decade. The sweeteners. Now, I know when you talk about sweeteners, artificial sweeteners, sugar-free, you're thinking, well, they're bad. They're just as bad for you as sugar. Actually, some of them are. Obviously, you don't want to be sitting there drinking a 2-liter bottle of pop every hour or every day. That would be nuts. Some people do that. I wouldn't recommend that. That's a lot of sugar. We all know sugar in excessive amounts is bad. Artificial sweeteners in excessive amounts could probably be bad too. However, if you look at artificial sweeteners, Saccharine was the first, came out in the late 1970s. It was followed by a few others. The most well-known one today is aspartame. Actually something you want to stay away from. For about 75% of people, it is not good. It actually confuses your body. It has been known to increase your appetite, and it's also been known to increase weight gain in a lot of people. There's a lot of other things out there too. You can read the article, Decades of Scientific Research Points to Serious Health Risks for Aspartame. We also have to remember too, with these sweeteners, they are usually 200 to 300 times sweeter than sugar, and they are usually in smaller amounts. So when somebody says 50 grams of aspartame or 50 grams of sucralose, which we're going to talk about here in a second, as opposed to 50 grams of sugar, you can't compare that. It's more like 5 grams to 60 grams. So when I look for sweeteners, I look for sucralose and acetylflame potassium, also known as ACE-K. I probably am pronouncing those a little bit off, but that's the first thing I look for. I also look for caffeine content, natural caffeine. I also look at B vitamins, especially B12, as you'll learn here in a second. B vitamins, like I showed you with that bottle here earlier, are kind of the core of energy drinks now today. I also look for Pantex ginseng and taurine. These cans here do not have taurine in them at all. One of them has ginseng in it. Ginseng helps you with focus. I think taurine is actually pretty good too. You can look those up. I have some research on those. If this video turns out to be very interesting to people, I can pan out and discuss a lot of the other things. But let's go ahead and look at these and see how they match up to my criteria, what I look for, and I'll tell you which one I like for a lot of different reasons or for the main reason. This first one, it's a energy drink, 10 calories for the can. One can, serving size, one can, yes. So I look at the sweeteners. It has both of the sweeteners in it, sucralose and ACE-K. It has vitamin B12, which is the main one I look at now. 100%. It also has 100% of B6 and niacin, if I'm pronouncing that right. And I tried this one. I said, well, the flavor is okay. I'll probably buy it on a regular, or not on a regular, but on a semi-regular. Ace Shock. It reminds me of somebody I used to know. This is an orange one. Natural caffeine, 300 milligrams. Now, when I talk about natural, unnatural, natural absorbs, your body absorbs it a lot differently and a lot better. Unnatural, not so much. So if you're drinking an unnatural beverage with unnatural ingredients, your body absorbs it differently. It also changes it. And I think that's what happens with aspartame and a few other things. So the next one is also 10 calories, but the vitamin B12 is jacked up to 250%. B6 is at 120%. And niacin is at 130%. This only has sucralose in it. Does not have ACE-K. So this is Rain. Orange Dreamsicle. I actually really like this one. The flavor has been really good. I would pick this one over this one for flavor. The last one has been my go-to for a lot of different reasons. It has some other stuff in it. It does have both of the sweeteners, but it has a lot less vitamin B12, 60%. It has 30% of B6. It has 30% vitamin C, which I don't remember seeing that on other energy drinks. It also is 0 calories. This one also has super creatine in it, which I have not done a lot of research on. This is Bang. This is Star Blast. And Blue Raz, I think, are the two that I really like. So those are this has been my second, and then these would be coming after it. The flavor on them has been actually really good. Now, what is my setup? Obviously, you don't want to chug one of these all at once. That would really be stupid. I like to space it out. If I take one to work with me, which I usually do, I usually dump it in a bottle and I add water to it, like, I don't know, 25% watered down. And then I add more water to it as the day goes on, and then I realize that it's too watered down. And it usually lasts, a can like this will usually last me all day. This is a 16-ounce can. They're $2 a can, these cans here. So you're going to buy a pop for $2. You might as well buy this. It's actually going to be a little bit better for you. Go on a bike ride. I usually have one in the car. I open it, take a little bit. I drink it periodically if I'm at a place that I go back to my car a lot. If it's a longer bike ride, Cuyuna especially, any of the longer trails, I'll drink a little bit before, or sometimes a lot before, and then I'll have some after. So that's been my setup. That's what's worked for me. But I have recently had some issues with my bladder. I've always had issues like that. It's not something that's been brand new, but it's been more active in the last few years. I went to the doctor, and he told me to drink less carbonation. Carbonation actually affects your bladder. Isn't that crazy? I would never have guessed that. It also is affected by caffeine. Now, I would really be interesting to know if there's an artificial caffeine as opposed to a natural caffeine, and if there would be some information there. The other one was vitamin supplements. I thought, oh boy, that's going to be interesting. Well, sure enough, vitamin B12 is right at the top of the list. That's why I started looking at the content of these, and that's why this one is the best, because it has the least amount. In fact, I've had more issues, I think, with these than with this. I did test that. I did test the different things. I tested caffeine. I tested carbonation just to see if that affects me at all. When I come home, I had a little 5-hour energy. They make several different brands of it now. And I chugged one of those after work. I think I peed 3 or 4 times in a little over an hour. We'll say 3 times in 1 hour. I looked at the vitamin B12 content. It's like 17 or 18,000% of vitamin B12. Are you serious right now? Seriously? So if you drink one of those, dump it in like a quart of water and make it last a whole day, if nothing else. So that's pretty much my thoughts on energy drinks. If I think of anything else, I can do an addition here. But like I said, I'm just giving you some information based on my usage and what I think. I think, yes, you shouldn't be chugging an energy drink every hour, nor should you be chugging a 2-liter bottle of pop every hour. I mean, seriously. Moderation is always key, except for when you're biking on a trail. You don't want to use moderation. You want to go as fast as you possibly can. I'm kidding, of course. Seriously, I hope that helps. If you have any questions or anything, you can leave me comments. Please do not say stupid, dumb things on my thing. I will delete you, and you will not be able to comment at all. Now, let's go ride our bike. No, seriously, it's like 35 degrees, and there's snow on the ground, and it's slippery. Let's go ride our bike as fast as we possibly can.